Okay, so this will be a different style of video than normal, so I'll be team building, and hopefully through this video I'll be able to show you some of the thought process that goes into making a team. And so I guess I'll build around Wintrix, because that's the Loomian I lost in Eats Tourney. Specifically, I lost actually a Kabunga coffee set. So I'll put that in, but you probably should just run like Mysterious Dust instead. They were using Brain Freeze, which is not a bad move actually. I think they just didn't have the Frost Beam but that lets you hit things like Cosmore or Meditoad, and Cosmore is pretty popular now. Then they had Airblade as well. Airblade lets you, I guess, like fire types like Chart or Infernix, and they had Peace of Mind. And that, I guess, lets you set up and maybe break through things like Strat or Ellie or different things. Ellie you probably don't want to get tased by, so that's kind of annoying. Maybe that's another reason to run Dust, so I'll put Dust down. And Perch, I assume, was their last move, but I'm not sure what there was. And you probably run like a Nimble Smart set. You can use whatever TPs you want, probably. So another thing, so like if I look kind of at what Wintrix's answers are, maybe something like, well, Ellie kind of comes to mind. That's kind of the most common one. Doesn't really fully answer this Wintrix. You kind of set up on it probably. But actually, no, it's a bit iffy because this doesn't have Provoke. So you have things maybe like Ellie, or you have different like amulet users like Rex, or yeah, I guess Tyrex probably main one, Meditoad possibly, but you have Brain Freeze for that. But I guess like Tyrex and stuff, so you can use like, I kind of feel like Chart is pretty good with this, because it can bait things in for Wintrix, kind of like Bar Blast, you can kind of take advantage of with Wintrix. So that's pretty good, and it can deal with like said Rex and Eliguana and different like electric types, and Proto. I guess Proto's probably rare. So I think Chart should pair pretty well, or you can use Communication if you don't want to get like talent traded by SETI. I'll put my favorite set in. Provoke, Barter, Photo. This set and stuff that might change later. And then nice with Chart. Let's see, what else would I want to use? And maybe for like breaking here, I can go with like a Snagoop. So I can have like a double air offense, and then I can kind of cripple things. So then I wouldn't go with the Ash set here. Mechanic Ash. Then you have the immunized ability, so then you don't get burned. So then you go with Barter. I believe Muck Blast. Muck Blast is the most broken move in the game. Jetstream and Provoke. So, I feel like there's this core of like kind of 3 should be able to like break through most things. I didn't actually replace an item here. Maybe you could go with like Fire Essence, Fire Breath, or you could just go like Shackles, Barter Shackles. Probably not a bad idea either. Yeah, you can probably change up the movesets on whatever this team's gonna become. Alright, so then when you have kind of like general idea, maybe like where your team's headed, I think I'm gonna make more of like a balanced team with this, seeing as most of you guys probably use balance rather than stall. In the future, I'll probably team build using stall, since that's kind of my specialty, but maybe this is a team that most of you guys would prefer using. So let's see. As far as what would really be a weakness to this, you have like, Falc can kind of just sweep this so far. Set up on like Chart, Snagoop, Wintrix, and just smack everything. And I guess just for a general range wall, maybe for like Zulong as well. It's like Eliguana's not bad, probably. I don't mind Ellie. You can like pivot. Maybe if you get like a F and F out on the like SETI. I keep saying SETI. I feel like people shouldn't use SETI anymore, really, but some stall teams do use SETI. It's not bad there. Then you can bring Wintrix in. So I think that's good here. Prismatic. Tentatively go with probably Shield. And then moveset, Reju. Tase, Flash and Flee, Thunderstruck. Yeah. I mean, now let's see. I mean, we don't really have a good like answer to maybe like Vesperatu. Yeah, kind of weak to Dark, kind of weak to Metatoad. And I could look at something like Vesp. Well, I don't really like Vesp as my own Vesp answer, and I feel like it's kind of hard to get a Vesp answer. If we have like Snagoop right as Poison type, maybe I'd actually want to go with like a non-Barblast kind of team here. Barblast, I feel like Barblast is a really good mon right now. It has a lot of roll compression, but I'm going to try to not use it here. So I'm going to go with actually Oxydrake maybe. Kind of a weird mon to use. Yeah, I'll go with Oxydrake. Maybe combative and baiting off a Rex or something. Yeah. Oh yeah, it helps with Hunder as well, yeah. So Hunder's another thing that, yeah, kind of just smacks us. And I feel like Hunder's actually quite a good mon right now. Some people just don't have an answer to it, and good speed control helps against things like Wintrix and helps against Valk mainly too. That's a pretty big threat right now. Yeah. So I guess Oxydrake kind of helps with those problems. Reju. And if you're an Eats tourney then or something like, I don't know, maybe we'll go with non-driving force set because that could be banned as since Eat had it banned, maybe it'll be banned with Steel Crusher and Bulk Up. Probably this move set, you can replace Steel Crusher with Driving Force, I think is what people do. I mean, we don't have armor yet, but I'll leave this item blank for now. So go. Probably want to get like some sort of water type, and so it's really either Barblast or Lumi, but I feel like on this type of team, maybe I prefer Lumi more. Get like another pivot, so I'm gonna go with Luminami here. Luminami. With heavy armor, so then yeah, Genga. And then Power Napper. And for moves, you go Reggie. Actually, do want Reggie. Well, Flash and Flee for sure. I'll figure the Lumi moveset out after I get with the last slot. So now you see what we are weak to. I feel like for my last slot, maybe I want something that somewhat deals with Chart, because Chart's kind of annoying to swap into. You mostly just have Snagoop. I mean, Snagoop's not a bad swap in. It can swap in like twice and do okay, but it's honestly if you especially can bait in like a barter and you know, but you don't want to take a Fire Breath. But you do resist Muck Blast, and it's Chart you actually. Yeah. And I see Wintrix having Airblade don't really allow Chart in that easily. Yeah, you can tase the Chart with Ellie, and Oxydrake doesn't really let Chart in, but maybe you don't want to Lumia, let's Chart. Maybe you would go with like a Mega Chomp Lumi here, but so last one I probably don't want it to lose to Chart. I probably want to like beat Chart 1v1 or even like check it pretty well. So maybe not. I'm on the let's I guess Cannabo in as well. Probably not good either. And actually, I don't have like an amulet user yet on this team. I mean, amulet's always just a good item to put on anything, really, but maybe something that really just takes advantage of the amulet item a bit more. Actually, just know. Could look at Ferroglyph actually. That's an interesting one. What Pharaoh do? That actually helps out a bit. Where it's also like Snagoop, opposing Snagoop, opposing like Wintrix maybe. Pretty decent mon overall. I feel like Pharaoh's pretty underrated right now. And people have Vesp and stuff, and that's true. But if people are using mainly like Ellie as their ranged wall and using like a similar structure to this, And like, if I didn't have like Oxydrake here, because people might not use Oxydrake, then this team could be somewhat Pharaoh weak. And even Oxydrake's not made the best, but it works pretty well, I'd say, against Ferroglyph. Yeah. So maybe Pharaoh's not bad. Probably just go with Temper here. Oops, did not meet ADO. Temper. Okay. So yeah, like on a chart board, you'd probably want to try and go to Snag Goop, or you can always pivot safe Ellie here. And I guess this also somewhat, maybe Teak is kind of annoying to Clips. So what you can do here for Ellie, since we can energize on Ellie to help us out with to Clips. Then here we can go like Peace of Mind. So does it get Psychoblast or Flabbergast? Yes. It probably doesn't get Psychoblast. If it does get Psychoblast, then I look like an idiot. I'll go Flabber. Actually, does it get Psychoblast? I'll put Psychoblast. I don't know. I can search that up on the wiki. But run like I'll be Flabbergast here. Put it for safe. Haven't used this in long enough. Flabbergast. If it gets Psychoblast, then use Psychoblast. Maybe it doesn't get Psychoblast. I'm stupid. Dark Surge. Perhaps Boulder Blast is good here. I guess that's kind of like the old standard set, right? Oh, they had something else here. Does Provoke could be okay, but I don't think you care too much about SETI. Kind of just go like chart and win tricks and all that stuff on SETI. So that's okay. Yeah. I like that. I think it should be good. And on things like chart, you can also just double into your like Snag Goop. That's free things. I like Loomy. I feel like this team looks pretty good actually in terms of just the mons. I think I quite like the mons that I have here. Going armor. I suppose you just want Energy Orb on Oxydrake. That's not a bad item actually. It only has base 90 energy and helps out perhaps then more of a justification to use Outburst. So then with Flash and Flea, maybe you want Mega Chomp. Would you want Mega Chomp? Or maybe you probably want the very robust set for like Cannabo, right? A very robust. You can go very robust Clumsy Sluggish if you want the physical attacking set. Well, perhaps you're not scaring chart too much even with that set. Let's go with Maroon and Peace of Mind and see another win con. And this team's kind of like a ranged spam team here. And then you have Oxydrake kind of cover up some of the weaknesses. I think it should be pretty solid. Should be, I think. Let's see. Do I see anything that really smacks this, or I think it's a good team that most of you guys could use, and maybe in the future I should probably use this team myself. But I hope this video gave you some insight on how to make a team, and in the comments let me know if you see anything that this team could be weak to, and maybe I can find some adjustments in the future for it, or let you guys know of any good adjustments. But I think this team should be pretty solid. So, thank you for watching.